hello little rats. Welcome to another episode of Ratbag. In this episode, it's a really silly one. We're on an upgraded set. Nino, new set.
Nino.
In this ep, I unpack a really hilarious conspiracy theory that my dad started motorbikes and feminism.
Yep. Then we get asked a question about following your gut, which leads to a pretty intense tale about a time that someone definitely followed their gut and for right reason.
A spooky tale. We also chat about like business ventures that we're going to take down the road. Nino, spoiler alert.
And then we end with a Hit It Toots that involves a bike, and that's all I'm saying. Bloody watch the episode.
It's perfect. Enjoy the app.
You get a rat and a bag, that's a rat bag. You put a bag on a rat, that's a suffocated rat. You put a rat in a bag, it's like squeak. Let's go, it's rat bag.
We're rolling.
Nino, new set alert.
Location.
Location change.
Change it up. Keep them interested. You can't be doing the same shit.
Can't be doing the same shit.
You cannot be doing the same shit.
Welcome to the new version of Ratbag in this shit hot, what we like to call mature Nickelodeon.
So it's mature Nickelodeon. That's absolutely what it's called on the tin.
Right?
Mature Nickelodeon. Stoked to be on this plush, butter yellow couch with you.
I'll tell you what, I'm very comfortable.
Good.
Very comfortable.
We might change our energy for the pod because these are giving throne.
They're a bit
I feel very like regal and important.
Yeah.
And very
our pod changes to being like, you know what, fucking listeners, bring me a loaf of bread.
Legit.
Peasants, dance for me. Jesters, go.
Welcome to our courthouse. My name's Sam.
I'm Mel.
Welcome to Ratbag with Mel and Sam. If this is your first time watching, what an odd episode to start with. This isn't the location we're usually at. Please tell the story that you said before about the YouTube comment.
I was really giggling because we've moved locations. We've leveled up into this beautiful mature Nickelodeon set. And I was laughing because we're like, fuck, do you reckon people will miss the LED screens? Oh, it was always fun to comment on what was behind us on the LED screens. And then we were just sitting in a meeting and we were like, no, like who's listening to it or watching it on YouTube specifically for the LED screens?
Yeah.
We've never got a comment on it. Never, like, no one's ever really commented on it. And then literally this morning, I got a notification for our YouTube for this gorgeous little rat who'd commented being like, guys, just so you know, this is the, in caps, only pod that I jump over to YouTube for, and it is specifically for those beautiful LED screens you have behind you. And I was like, no.
Perfect.
Oh, fuck, man.
Hey, you can't win them all.
You can't win them all.
You're steering this first segment. I have no idea what's about to hit me.
I'm Steer Town Supreme.
Steer me,
But
please.
before I go into my first segment, I need to tell you a life hack that I've just discovered recently.
Tell me.
And it's related to so when we were doing sound checks before, Sam was like, in a gorgeous way of not going, can you please not chew that gum? Instead, she said, so you're going to be chewing gum for the podcast? and I went, no, my girl, don't worry, I'm taking it out of my mouth. And I took it out of my mouth. And then this is what I've been doing recently. This is fucked. And you're specifically, Sam,
Can I guess it?
That's fucked. Yes, you can probably tell because you can visually see.
It's turned into a fidget toy.
Yeah.
Right.
I take gum out of my mouth and then I use it as a fidget.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Thoughts?
So instead of the Sonic Supreme of it being like, we've now got it roll-tastic in your hand like blue tack.
Visually see me rolling my own saliva around this Nickelodeon Supreme.
Oh my God, you should release a new line of like Play-Doh, but it's gum dough.
And it's specifically from me that fans can buy. They buy my
This is
saliva.
so interesting because I remember another previous episode of Ratfood, you were chewing gum, and I remember going, I wonder if she's going to be chewing gum for the app. And then I went, don't be a cunt, just leave it. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't affect you. Move on. And then it was Chew-tastic, Supreme Chew-tastic. You didn't move from your hot little seat. But we started recording. The chewing sounds had disappeared and I went, where's the gum gone?
Because I was conscious of it. That's why. Because it's an annoying sound, chewing gum, but I really wanted to be chewing
No, but I went,
gum.
where's the gum gone? Clearly it was in your hand.
Oh, no, I was still chewing it that day. I know the exact day you're talking about. No, I was Magic Supreme.
Magic Supreme. Anyway, we don't have time.
Doesn't fucking matter, guys. If you're looking for a cheap alternative to a fidget, grab a packet of gum from the supermarket. It's actually fucking life-changing.
Perfect.
It reminds me of, you know, those like cubes that people are into right now? They're like squishy cubes.
Oh,
I forget what
yes.
they're called, but you know the ones.
Yep.
Right. Who the fuck cares? I'm leading this segment.
Please.
Welcome, everyone, to Ratbag. I have a segment that I would like to call Attempts at Allyship.
I'm in.
It's really, really funny. I want to talk about, and I have two specific examples that like immediately come to mind, but I do think it's a really funny notion. And it's in relation to any any like school of thought or like thing ever. Like it's not just like it's not just like in my head I'm like, oh no, it just is to do with racism or it's just to do with transphobia or anything like that. The two that I'm bringing to the table today. Number one, I have to unpack this interaction I had with my dad. Now, Tom, you don't know this. Sam's heard this already.
Okay.
But I had to bring it on mic because it's perfect. And I think it speaks to a bigger thing when specifically older people in older generations, try really, really hard to get it right.
Yep.
And I think something that happens a bit with my dad is like he knows what my views and values are. And like often we're having earnest conversations where I feel like he's learning from me a bit and I learn things from him. Beautiful, beautiful back and forth. I received, so no, I need to tell the whole story. I was on the phone with my dad the other day and I was chatting with him, blah, blah, blah. How's your week? Good. And then he goes like this, and I know it'll always go well when a sentence starts like this. He goes, "You'd be proud of me for something I did the other day." And I went, "Here we go. Beautiful."
Oh, no.
My dad, the ally. And I was like, and 9 times out of 10, it's followed by something that I'm definitely not proud of him for. But I go, "Thanks for trying." And he goes, "No, you'd really be proud of me for this one." And I went, "Here we go. Tell me." You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, you don't remember?
I'm waiting, yeah.
Okay. And I went, "Go on, tell me." And he goes, "I was on the phone to my friend, let's call him Greg, and I was chatting with him and I went, Greg, blah, 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 this, that, the other." And Greg was telling me all about his motorbike and the fact that he, you remember?
I'm in.
And the fact that he's just recently been married. He rides his motorbike and his wife sits on the back. And I went, "That sounds like fun, blah, 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 motorbike supreme." And then he goes, "I destroyed him for it." And I went, "Pardon?" And he went,
So good.
"Wife riding on the back? How misogynistic's that?" And I went, "Pardon?" And he went, "No, absolutely not. Gender inequality, what's she, your trophy wife sitting on the back?" And I just destroyed him for it. And then I went, "Dad, what do you mean you destroyed him for it?" And he was like, "No, I literally went, mate, honestly, check yourself on that one." And I was like, "Wait, did you actually have a go at him for this?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did. I tore him to absolute shreds for it." This poor, like, trembling man sitting at home being like, "Fuck, maybe I am the problem."
That's so funny.
And then in natural Sargi style, because of course, after hanging up, so I said to him, I was like, "Dad, I was like, I don't really think that's a problem. I think that's all right. Like, he can ride the motorbike and his wife can, have her arms around his waist." Anyway, then I receive a text message about the situation because, of course, this is what it says in exact words. In caps. "Sexist!" with 7 exclamation marks and 2 @ symbols. I think that was a typo. And then in quotation mark, "Here's my little trophy girlfriend I carry around like a gold necklace on the back of my big macho motorbike." Motorbike emoji, naturally. And then a photo of 2 people on a motorbike. "Tell me that looks like one of the most uncomfortable, unsafe and most ridiculous things you'll ever see. I will only renege the day I see a tough, independent woman driving, carting her trophy jockey boyfriend on the back. Role reversal equals justice equals equality."
We need to get that person that came out to us recently at Adelaide Fringe and said, "I'm actually a bit gay," that's female. We need to get her to go for a few skirts around a cycling park.
Literally.
So that Sarge can see and go, "There's woman independently on a motorbike."
I'm happy
Good on
to
you.
see it.
If you're listening, please. Sarge needs some exposure therapy to some women on bikes.
He needs to see some dykes on bikes.
Some dyked. Oh, his life had changed.
Tell
with
me
dykes
that man's
on
never
bikes.
been to Pride without telling me that man's never been to Pride.
That's just, it's like when the pendulum swings too far and
When
he's gone too far.
Swings
the other way.
too far. Do you have any stories like that of people or like boomers like trying to be allies and trying to get on board but like not quite nailing it?
No, I wish I did. I feel like
that's
my
okay.
parents would absolutely have something like that. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head. That is such a perfect story. I can also see him like releasing his own line of like motorbike like stickers and stuff for like the bumper bar. That's like, "This woman rides alone like the super queen she is."
The other example, and I know we have to move on swiftly, is I'm obsessed with, have you ever been like in stores where it's like, we don't do sizes like 8 through to 20. We have have size Diva Brave. And we have size
Perfect.
Cunty Mama.
That would just be impossible for inventory. Like
It's
how?
like, what? It's not problematic to have numbers.
Sizes are fine.
clothing.
Numbers are
like,
fine.
Just be inclusive.
Just
or like
be inclusive.
when you're signing up for, my other example was like, I was signing up for this fucking like, I don't know what it was, if it was like at the movies for a membership or something. And instead of putting like Ms., Mr., Miss, etc., which I'm like, I get it. Like that's a bit gendered and fucked. But the options were like, thy ladyship.
No one wants to be saying that because that's
Senor. And I was like, you can just say.
super embarrassing.
The left's gone too far.
No. Not here at this mature Nickelodeon set, educating the kids of next year. We're going to take you to a really quick ad break, and when we come back, it's time to open up the Bring Bitch hotline.
Okay, welcome everybody to our fave beautiful hotline segment, Bring Bitch, hit
Bring
that
Bitch.
sting.
Bring bitch.
I kind of have a question, and you two seem really cool and hot and smart. Hello?
I have a beautiful DM from
Gorge.
someone who listens to the pod. This is a really, really fun question, and I'm keen to unpack it with you.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
this is what it says. So, and thank you so much for writing in. Rats! My government name. Thank you so much. Rats. I hope this is okay. This is more of a Q&A style question for you than advice or anything. I was wondering if you guys would ever start a business outside of performing together. I feel like so many artists I love eventually make a whole ass clothing line or something, or start an offshoot project or business.
Yep.
I was wondering if you guys would ever do anything like that, and if so, what would it be? I'm just really curious. Obs don't have to say if you have some huge ideas that you want to keep secret, but yeah, I'm so invested in the world of Mel Sam, very sweet, and would buy anything you guys ever put out, haha. So I was just wondering. Anyway, love you, and sorry if this is random. I won't be offended if it doesn't make it into an episode, lol. Well, lucky for you.
Lucky for you.
It's made
Our
it into an
DMs are
episode.
perpetually open and sometimes a bit empty. So bring them in.
The bar's
You've
on the
made
floor.
it.
You could ask us what our favourite season is, and we'd have to go, fuck, guess that's what we're
Someone tuned
unpacking.
in with a really gorgeous one for us to unpack about the Four Seasons, not the hotel.
Or the Jersey Boys.
Vivaldi.
But I love that question.
I love that
Isn't
question.
that such a fun one?
Okay, what I'd like to do is go first the ones that immediately come to mind, and then
Yeah.
I want to go deeper.
I love that.
Immediately, either a jewelry line or a fashion line feels
I love that.
correct for us, because I would say, no, this is outing myself. You know what I'm going to say.
I do.
I don't.
That was a bit of a fake laugh.
Guys, Nino,
No.
have you gotten closer than me and Sam are?
No,
you're
Fucking
not.
hell.
When
This
we
is about
were-
to be Tom and Sam the pod.
When we were picking a new location to shoot Ratbag on, and Lucy and Tom went out to look at a bunch of different studios for the change up that now brings us to this Nickelodeon mature set.
Yeah.
It's like, we're like looking around, trying to make sure there's some place with some cool stuff on the walls, so that the set has a bit of energy and colour and life to it. And then I earnestly said this to Tom with this level of intensity. I went, Tom, absolutely, it's really important that we get good backgrounds and stuff. But at the end of the day, when you've got those vertical shots of Mel and I and they're a tight frame, Mel and I are the set dressing, and Mel and I dress pretty. And Mel and I dress pretty well. And I think, the colours and patterns that Mel and I wear, we are the set as well. And Tom just held so much space and went, absolutely. So
I'm putting you on a white psych next.
Yeah.
Just you and your fashion
Just to
choices.
see what kind of fucking art we can make with our wardrobes, man.
it's so cringe that I said that. But I back it that you and I like wearing fun things.
We do indeed.
And I think we could release a fashion
I
line.
love that. This is so unrelated, but I do have to say it. Something that I talk about with other fat friends of mine often is something that sometimes I'm like, God, I dress well. And then I'm like, if I was standard size, it would actually be over for you bitches.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? If I could go shopping in regular shops,
Yeah.
it would be so over.
No, that is
this is
such
what
a
I
hot
managed.
take.
This is what I managed to pull together.
Yeah.
With not a lot of options.
With shops that just have fucking nothing at all.
Imagine
or
if I
one
could wear
thing on
anything
the
I
rack.
wanted. Life changing.
Well, you could make it.
Anyway,
Make the
we
clothing
could.
that you want.
What would we call our clothing line? And what would it entail?
Size disparity.
Fat fuck.
I say that because we've
Fat
been
fucking squarehead.
We had a review once that went, Mel and Sam are back for one of our comedy festival shows. Mel and Sam are back with their razor sharp lyrics, cutting edge songs, and size disparity on stage.
How the fuck is that?
That's such a weird thing to say.
And I'm going,
The amount of times I've had my body shape and size commented on in a review.
it's so unfair. Why?
Thanks for holding space for that, Tom.
Thanks for
I
holding
was
space.
laughing and then you're going,
No, actually.
No. A clothing line. What would it be called? No, genuine names only.
Genuine names only? I can't think of genuine names. I'm in too much of a silly mood. Silly, goofy mood.
I feel like you had so
Soft
many.
brat or something like that.
Yeah, you had so many alts for the podcast that were,
Yeah, that's
were
true.
great as
I
fashion
wanted to call
lines.
this podcast intellectual property for reasons that will not be named.
And I went, no.
But I
Did
got
you
told it's
know
too naughty.
That the OG Melon, this is outing us for a second.
Go,
The
go.
OG Melon Sam name
Yeah.
was not Melon Sam.
Oh, okay.
We were going to be called. Can't believe I'm outing myself like
I don't
this.
even remember this.
One of the ones we had on the drawing board that we swiftly cut, but for a while
Like when we first did No Hat,
when we
No Play.
first didn't know how to play, we had to come up with a production name.
Yeah.
Is we were sitting here, not as Mel and Sam. It would be, hi, welcome to High Pony Productions.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to be called High Pony Productions.
And that's why we ended up calling our show High Pony. I remember another thing we were going to be called was Glitter Tit.
That's fair. Glitter Tit's a
Glitter
good brand
Tits?
name.
Glitter
Yeah.
Tits, like solid.
Fashion
great.
line. What else would we do?
Glitter Tits actually kind of funny.
Jewelry or fragrance.
I love the. I was going to say fragrance. I was going to say we would release a fragrance, Mel and Sam by Mel and Sam. You know, like those like Beckham ads.
with notes of melon. Yeah. Notes of sand.
Now I made something to post on the Instagram that Sam never let me post, but it was a picture of a photoshopped image of a cantaloupe with Sam's head on it, and I said, "Oi, can I post this on Mel and Sam?" Just saying we are Melon Sam, MELON space Sam, and she said no.
We'll put it here on the screen for you rats so you can go over to the YouTube.
Or if I end up talking to Podcast Mommy and where I'm
Yeah.
allowed to post on the Instagram after mentioning it, you have to go and like it so you can show me that it was worth it.
I also feel in the wheelhouse for us is releasing a book, but a book with something to it.
I agree.
And it's got like prompts
Yeah, not like
in
a
it.
novel.
No.
But more like a, oh no, my
From-
gum's stuck to my finger. Oh no, it's all good.
Fidget crisis. Aisle
Nino.
3. That's so...
Fidget crisis aisle 3. You're so funny.
No, you're
You're
hilarious.
on fire today.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm quipping every 2 milliseconds.
Sam was really funny yesterday. We were in the city. And you know, when you're just in a really bad mood and you just need someone to be in the perfect match for your mood, I had a little quick breakdown off to Abu Dhabi moment. Quick breakdown off to the top to do the show. And Sam was in the most perfect mood. And I don't know why I bring it up, but I just love you so much.
I love
And you were
you.
being really funny. And I was like, that's my best friend, man.
That's my best friend, man.
You
And
lifted me from the gutters of depression.
And then your dad's just standing on the street watching all these men drive past with dolls on their back going, it's not the way it's meant to be. What else would we... Tom, what would we release?
I think like you're absolutely nailing it. Something in the fashion. I was thinking Musk by Mel and Sam.
Oh. Yeah, Tom's getting more girly pop by the day. Today I walked in and he went, you smell good. And I went, thank you. And he went, it's a bit musky. And I went,
Heavy.
sense of musk marking. Very good. It's also like spot on.
No, it's so good. What would be... I've got a pivot.
Go on.
What's the last business venture that you and I would make in the world of
love
Mel
that
and
question.
Sam?
I've got it.
Yep.
I've got it. A weight loss tea.
God's baby.
Skinny me tea by Mel
Say what
and
you
Sam.
want.
Sam's
Me
taking
not.
notes.
Skinny me tea.
Skinny me tea.
But it's, what would we call it?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
But that, a weight loss tea?
Yep.
Or a...
Or like one of those really hectic Instagram giveaway competitions that are massive scams. Like
Yes.
you pay for a program to reach a level of
I'll
like...
just cross that one out in my notebook.
I couldn't see you guys building bridges.
like physically.
I
thought that
like
metaphorically.
metaphorically.
Like, you know, if you're pivoting into another business, I can't see like a construction sort of thing.
Architecture.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Sorry, if we built a bridge, most bridges would be like this, right? You'd think common arch down. Ours would be like this. And then it would make it become glitter, and then we'd be like, now it's a sponge.
With
now it's
pussies
a
all over
slippery
it.
dip.
Hold on. You know what I reckon we could do?
Yeah.
And it's in like, I know we had the Auntie Donna rep out the other week talking about a theme park. A Mel Sam theme park would be really, really fun.
That would be fun.
A melon,
It's dreaming big.
a Mel Sam theme
What
park.
would be in our Mel Sam
yeah.
theme park? That's really fun. What would be in our Mel Sam theme park?
Okay, this is so cringe. There'd be a room with the crazy mirrors, but the mirrors is just mirrors, and it would be mascara theory, and every mirror you look in would be your face.
Okay, do you know what it is? Next ep, we're coming back with episode prep of what the Mel Sam theme park would be.
Love that.
Pin. Put that in your notes and smoke it,
I
mate.
will.
Sorry.
Being really funny.
This is just fun for us.
No, Mel Sam theme park. Also, if you have an idea of what could be in the Mel Sam theme park, please let us know in the comments.
Please let us know.
What
or
would
if
you
you've
want it
got
to
some
be?
cash for flow for that.
Yeah, if you know of any grants going around.
We want to head down to the Docklands and do our own little bit.
Docklands.
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 What did I say?
Nino, fact check alert. You said Docklands.
Oh, no. My dad's infiltrated me because my dad says Chadstons.
Oh, dear. Oh, we're losing the plot.
We're back. Well, now what? Girl
Girl
dad.
dad.
Right. Thanks so much to that rat that wrote in with that rat-tastic
That was
question.
rat-tastic, scram-tastic.
That was really good to
That was
unpack.
really good.
I feel high. I need to chill out.
We're going to move on to, I believe, a girl dad. Is that correct?
God,
Yeah.
please make it require a funny answer. I don't know if I can hear. No, I'm here.
It's good to be back. Hit that sting.
Is he having a boy? Is he having a girl? Who cares about the binary? It's girl dad.
All right, take it away, Papa, Papa.
I'm finally back, and I'm the first time I actually have a daughter now. So it's true, girl dad.
Oh my God,
It's
I didn't
true,
even
girl dad.
clock. Of course.
I've been learning a lot about female anatomy now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm an
How
expert.
goes that journey?
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah, it's interesting the things I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Like
vaginas. It's obvious now why vaginas get infections.
yeah.
My son, poo's never gone in his penis because he has a foreskin. Poo goes in the
true.
vagina all the time, and you got to
That's
get
what
it
I've
out.
been saying. That's what I've been saying, and no one's been listening.
That's what we say in our perfect cleaning vagina wipes, don't we, Mel? From our business.
Mel and Sam in Vagina Wipe.
Cunty femme fresh.
That's our next show. Vagina Wipe the Cabaret. No, but it's true. That's the thing about wiping front to back and back to front.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I think
becomes
I
very
do
important.
it the wrong way, actually.
Sorry. Mention it.
I'm just dead that we're talking about wiping front to back and back to front.
Welcome to my life. 20 nappies a day, at least.
It's just bodily function, Sam. Grow up.
So
That's true.
an actual little girl dad for you. And I ran it past Lucy, so if it's not funny, you can blame her.
Great, perfect. My favourite girl tags when you go, tell me about how the internet works. And we go, no, Tom, questions about girlhood only.
Yeah. So I saw one on Reddit, right? Which was basically, and it wasn't like female coded, but it reminded me of a common like sort of feminist issue, right?
Right.
Which is
We're
that
not feminists.
a lot-
Sorry, you've come to the wrong place.
a lot of women often talk about how they have gut feelings. And
Well, you're going to say gut health issues?
well, that too. But I wanted to know if there was any times in your lives
Yep.
when you've had a true gut feeling, you've got no evidence to support the feeling, but you know it's true. Like you know it's true and people haven't believed you, but you've been right. Because apparently I get told all the time that women go to doctors and say, I know there's something wrong with me on my arm, and doctors
Yep.
don't believe them,
Yep.
et cetera, et cetera. Is there any examples for you guys?
Also, just a quick trigger warning. The next 5 minutes, we're going to be talking about a story that does involve like bodily harm and is a little bit
Yes.
on the darker side. So if you want to skip ahead 5-ish minutes to skip this story.
100%. I have an immediate story that jumps to mind that is not, it didn't happen to me. It is not my story, but obviously it's anonymous. Like I won't say who it happened to. It's a crazy story. Are we locked in for like a kind of scary story?
I'm locked in
I'm
for
down.
It's like
it. Yeah.
spooky, scary.
I'm
Okay.
in.
So this happened to like a friend of mine, and you're going to hear this story and go, that can't be real. It's real. And it is so in the realm of like trusting your gut. So this happened to like a gal who was overseas in Europe, like backpacking by herself. She was in, I think, Germany. She was like clubbing out one night, met a guy on the dance floor. It was vibes. They were like, you know, like really hitting it off. Like they hooked up on the dance floor, and then he was like, do you want to come back to mine? And she was like, hell yeah, I would love to do that. She messages her friend going, hey, I'm just going back to such and such's place. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, I think her flight was literally the next day. She texts her friend, and her friend's like, all right, but like, don't oversleep. Like, we've got this flight tomorrow. She's like, so fine, no worries. I reckon I'll go back, maybe do the deed, and then head back to my hostel. She goes back to this guy's like apartment. Again, I think it was like in Berlin from memory. Goes back to this guy's apartment. It's like vibes as they are hitting it off so epically. It's like kind of like hot, sexy vibes. And then he's like, I would love to like, can I give you a massage maybe? And she was like, I would love that. That would actually be like so hot and slay. Mm-hmm. And then so like he gives her a massage. Sam knows this story. I've told her before.
So bad.
So he gives her a massage. He like gets out the massage oils, blah, blah, blah. He's like doing a gorgeous massage for her. And then things kind of like start to progress. And then she literally has a Nino, tied in alert, gut feeling. She just has a gut feeling. She's like, I don't know. Something about this. Something. He hadn't done anything wrong or weird. Something about it, gut feeling, doesn't feel right. She goes, fuck, I've just remembered like white lie. She's like, my flight's actually, I mixed up the AM and PM of it all. I actually have to go. Fuck my flight. And he was like, no, like stay. And she was like, no. And she was like, bit odd that he pushed it, the no, stay. And she was like, and she got out of there. And the iconic part is she also messaged her friend her location as soon as she got like a funny gut feeling.
As we all have to do whenever we go anywhere.
So important,
always.
Especially if you have a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she leaves. She flies back to Australia the next day. Whatever. She's like, that was kind of weird. Who knows what that was. Then over the next few days, her body starts breaking out into like these hives, almost like a reaction.
She had like a rash
I think it was like
a
rash all over her body. And she was like, what the fuck? She goes to the doctor. This is back in Australia once she's back. And she goes, got this weird rash all over my body. Don't know what it is, blah, blah, blah. Doctor goes, weird. We're going to do some tests. Let's like check it out. The doctor comes back, goes, we do have the results. We do know what it's from. Maybe sit down for this one though. And she was like, good God, all right. Do you have any idea where this is going, Tom?
No, not really.
Okay. God, it's a good story. She sits down and the doctor goes, don't really know how to tell you this, but that particular rash only comes from one thing, and that one thing is embalming oil, which is what you do to a body. It's like what you use on dead bodies. Yeah. Meaning that he was like putting it all over her, like preparing her because he was going to kill her.
Oh my God. So fucked up.
Embalm her body.
Oh my God.
And she was like, obviously like fucking like beside herself, like scared. Anyway, most iconic thing, they got the guy because she sent her location to her friend, so they knew exactly where he lived.
Yeah, right.
And they went to his house under like suspicion of like whatever. I don't know how the laws work. And turns out he'd killed
oh my God.
a bunch of other women. And had like been doing that to other women. Isn't that a crazy story?
It doesn't feel real. Like
I told you it's not a fun one, but it's such a gut instinct story.
True case in point.
Comedy pod. I don't know about that.
No, that is that when I heard it for the first time, like full body chills. It's so heinous.
It's so heinous, and just like gut instinct is so real.
Yeah, and I feel it all the time when I meet people. Yeah. Say Mel as well, strong gut on like if someone's, it's like I don't know if I trust that person. I don't know if I like that person, and it just sits in your body and you can't escape it, but it sits there and it's like
sometimes you can just tell if someone's going to be bad news. Like, and in terms of like. Yeah, the health stuff of it all, like so many people, like so many people with things like endo and like women's health issues and like, or AFAB health issues, I should say, like know that something is wrong with their body and like we'll go to a doctor and we'll be like for years being like, hello, like I know that something is wrong and doctors will be like, yeah. And then like 7 years later it'll be like, turns out you have endometriosis. It's like, yeah. I've been saying that.
Yeah.
I've been saying that. And you've been saying that's fake.
Literally. Thank you for that gut question.
Once again, may it never be comedy despite how hard we try.
Sorry for going a bit dark there.
Sorry for going dark.
But now we're moving on to something that's a bit lighter.
Go, girl.
And a bit fun.
Go,
We're
girl.
moving on to a kick-ons question that I have prepared.
Go, girl.
Thank you.
Hit that sting.
I've got a would you rather for us. And Tom, I actually want to hear your answer as well because I'd be
Okay,
very
great.
fascinated to hear it. It's related to the industry.
Okay.
And it's not on the absurd side.
Okay.
This morning when I woke up, I literally was doing my hair and makeup and I said to my girlfriend, I was like, well, off to record my life-changing podcast where I asked Mel if she'd rather be a cunty shoe or a bibbly-bobbly hat. It's not one of those. This is a real one.
Great.
And I want us to go deep into it and not surface level it. And actually, no answer's a bad answer,
Okay.
but I want us to really think about it
Okay.
and put our hearts on the line and not be worried about the repercussions with our answers.
Okay.
Would you rather be incredibly famous, incredibly well known within the industry, so within the industry that we're in, everyone knows you. You could basically walk down the street and every second person is like, holy shit, I want to get a photo. You're not Taylor Swift level of famous, but
Yeah.
you are, where you go, people know who you are. Screen, stage, famous.
Yeah.
However, you are a fraud and you are not respected within
What do you
the
mean
industry.
you're a fraud?
You're not actually really, fraud is probably too dark. You're not good at what you do. You somehow have fallen into this kind of fame.
Well, there's no world
but-
in which I'm not good at what I
But
do.
you're not skilled. You're
An
someone
industry plant, maybe.
you're someone that got incredibly lucky, was
Okay.
right place, right time,
Okay.
good team around you. However, to people within your own industry,
Yep.
say if you're a musician, other musicians would be looking at you going, how the fuck did this happen for this person? You're not deemed good at your
Okay.
skill,
Yeah.
but you are incredibly famous. Or be incredibly skilled and very good at your craft. You've like finessed your skills. You're remarkable at what you do.
Yeah.
However, you never, ever, until the end of time, get any recognition or notoriety for the skill you have. But within like your really close circle of people that know you,
They're like, she's the best.
they
at that.
know that you're good at it, but it just doesn't mean shit.
When we're talking no notoriety, no recognition,
Yep.
what are we talking? Like if I do a comedy festival show, 3 people come,
You've got like 3 or 4 people in.
but those 3 or 4
and-
people are like, that's the best thing that's ever been made.
Yes.
Yep.
But the word of mouth doesn't word of mouth.
Yep.
And you're actually not getting booked for the gigs of, we need the best
Yep.
cellist for this thing. You're not getting booked for it. We
Yep.
need the best writer for this sitcom. You're never, ever, ever getting in the room. However, you know deep down, and it's not delusion. Because you know how like often talent equates to an audience. You are sitting there knowing I am incredibly good at this. However, I'm getting no fame from it. What brings you, I guess my question that I'm asking is, what brings you more fulfillment? People around you going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, fame, fame, fame. Or knowing deep down, God, I'm so good at this, but I purely am actually only doing it for myself. Because
great
no one,
question.
because no one around me.
Yeah, I think it's an easy one for me. I think fake it until you make it. I think I'd have to be honest, and
Yeah,
I'd love
please,
to.
I want people to be honest with their
Yeah,
answers.
I'd love to say the second option, but it's the first one. I worked at Coles for years while I did Auntie Donna and made no money, and it sucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't want to go back there. Like I
Yep.
like making money from my art, even if
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
faking it a bit. I think that's the honest truth.
Yeah,
Yep.
I respect that.
Yeah.
What's your initial gut?
My actually, and it's pretty out of character. I feel like when you've asked me this before, I have said the second one, but I think it's the no notoriety, no recognition, no blah. I'm like, if it was in a world where it was like, you get to have like a quasi-successful blah, people are kind of like, yeah, I would like pick the second one, but it being nothing, I'm like, no, I think I would want to be popping off.
Yep.
But have people, even though that would suck, having people be like, oh, I just don't get the whole Mel thing. Like she's actually kind of shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe what I would do is make that like, I would have my like performing and writing career. And then, can I be good in the privacy of my own home? That's a key question.
In the second option.
No, in the first option. So you being like, you're actually shit though, and you're not good.
Yep.
What about in the privacy of my own home? Can I still make good art?
No, you somehow have landed in this industry not with the skills, just a really solid team around you.
Yeah.
True industry plant style.
Yeah,
And when you're walking down the street, the thing is as well, because there's copycat behavior in the way that we view celebrities, there will be people around you that have just decided, because you're famous, you are good, which is not... Fame doesn't equal good, but somehow people put them on the same kind of playing field.
Yeah.
So you will have people around you going, God, I love you. God, you're amazing. You're so brilliant. But deep down you're not. Whereas, late one night, 11 p.m. on a Wednesday, when you're in your room singing or writing on your own, because in this second option, you're not going, am I delusional? Am I actually not good at this? You've had a few people around you go, no, you are so fucking brilliant, but it never ever equates to a career, a sustainable career.
I'm picking the first option as well.
Same.
Yeah, so am I. Absolutely. I'm almost like that now. Like, honestly, if you guys
Yeah, you're pretty shit at your job.
if you guys were like, mega famous people but had no talent, but were like, write me jokes, like make my podcast, like write it all for me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, if I can monetize this and help it get me to where I want to get to.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Tom, is you're using our untalented asses as a pawn in your game.
No, you're the not the complete inverse in this in this thing, but it's the opposite of like, yeah, you guys, I don't have to do any work or put any team around you guys because you are the set.
Yeah, because we are.
And we've come back
And
to
we dress ourselves.
our outfits are the set, man.
Do you feel like you could morally and ethically build a career based on someone else's idea that you steal?
No.
No.
Now that I
No.
draw the line.
Yeah, no, that would keep me up at night.
Yeah,
It
that I wouldn't
would
be
not
able to
worth
do.
it.
Yeah.
Being bad, it'd almost be like ego death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the first option, do I know that I'm bad? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know you're not good at it.
That's actually good. I think that's a bit of ego death.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good. Being like, I'm not good at it, but I'm so comfy
Yeah.
and I'm so happy.
Yeah.
My life is like vibes.
Yeah.
And I would have to find a new hobby.
It's interesting as well, though, and I know we need to wrap it up, that, what am I trying to say? Like, as humans, we want to be perceived how we see ourselves and be perceived correctly. Like, I know for myself, I hate when people have a perception of me that I deem wrong.
Yeah.
In the first option, that's quite like unsettling.
Yeah.
Because everyone around you is perceiving you in a way that you don't even really perceive yourself. That would not feel very
But
like...
aren't you actually saying that it would be how you perceive yourself because you also believe that you know that you're bad and everyone else is like you're bad?
No, but in the first one, you still have intense fame and people wanting photos with you, and like which does feel almost like a pat on the back of you are good,
True.
you're in this industry.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. I just wanted to talk more about like authenticity within the industry and like fame, like your own sense of self within your art, because it's a fascinating one.
It's
and
a
there
really
are some
good
people
question.
that have fame, and I just look at it and I go, how? And that's just
100%.
that's a tale.
I was going to
for another
say,
time.
like, I feel like the first option is the most common option. Like, so many, even pop stars that might be talented, like, they're totally propped up by
Yep.
the team around them and the choices that their team are making
Totally.
and stuff.
Rita
And,
Ora,
yeah.
thank you for playing. She will forever be fascinating to me.
I really don't know the first thing about her.
That's what I mean. Once again, I urge someone to name a Rita Ora song.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing. That was my kick-ons question.
I loved that Sammy Bobammy.
Thank you, my love.
Thanks for the question.
It's now time to move on to the most authentic thing we could do as artists, and that is our favourite segment, Hit It Toots.
Singing is not annoying, and everything is better as a song.
Hell yeah. If you're new to the pod, or if this is by chance the first episode ever that you've joined for, welcome. And second of all, let us explain to you what Hit It Toots is. It is the segment where we do some musical improv, the coolest genre that there is. Musical comedy improv. We often do it just based on something that we've talked about in the episode that comes up. What should we do it on today?
I've got the Hit It Toots.
You have it?
Yeah, it's easy.
Tell me.
It topped the episode. We're going to tail it,
Yeah.
put it in a beautiful Nickelodeon sandwich for our rats.
Yeah.
It's your dad and his hatred of motorbikes.
Naturally.
And how he thinks they're sending feminism back 20 years.
I love that.
Yeah.
Should one of us play my dad and one of us play a motorcyclist?
Let's do whatever. We can do
You wanna
whatever.
play my dad?
We can both. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. I think you know him as better than
Zoom,
anyone.
zoom, bitch.
Zoom, zoom. What
What
genre
are you
do we have?
playing? A bike.
I guess I'll be the motorcyclist.
Good on you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Now Tom always just picks a random genre for us, so we genuinely have no idea what it is. What do we got, Tommy?
You know what? This time it's less about the genre. You can work that out as you go along, but the tags were romance. It was all about romance and like romantic music. I thought that's funny.
Okay, work. I love that.
Are you ready?
Hit it toots.
It's a beautiful day to go down the street, get a barney and a coffee. Wait, who's that on the bike? Jesus Christ. Just breaks my fucking heart.
My name's Derek and I'm riding a bike. Got my Sheila on the back, she's a dyke. Just kidding, she's not, cause she's married to me. Wanna send feminism back to 1983.
You might be sending it to 1983, but mate, she's not your fucking trophy. This is so offensive, all these men down the streets with the girls on their backs. Am I the only man over the age of 50 that is seeing that and not getting a heart attack?
Let me tell you, my wife does so much around the house. I just want to put her back so I can carry her around. Lighten the load, go zoom zoom, from Mount Loft to Frio.
All these women are there, but they're not your backpack. Hook alert, your backpack. These women are there, but they're not your backpack.
If I wanted her to be my backpack, I would say you can be my backpack. Cause she has rights, she has a choice. No matter how much I drrr around the place. I don't want a backpack, I want a wife. I respect my wife. Oh, I love my wife. Yeah.
I was just enjoying that melody. Shit, I better come back in. Brum, brum, brum. This is so depressing. Brum, brum, brum. There you're set dressing. There on your back, just like a backpack.
Just like a jetpack, I'm gonna snap back. Cause I love my wife, she's got a jetpack. She goes to the moon cause she's such a superstar. And I love her, so I'm trying to lighten the load for her. Zoom, zoom, Sheila, get on board.
I'm not on board with your school of thought. I'm just not on board with your school of thought. I'm just not on board with your school of thought. Anyway, gotta go email PetSmart about my cat. And Finn. Stop that crooning backing track immediately. That's a callback to our old podcast.
Oh,
If anyone's
I
going-
love Hit It Toots. I really feel like a kid when we do Hit It Toots. I feel like I'm a child at play.
It's so stupid. For anyone that's like PetSmart, don't listen to the old pod. Listen to this one. It's better. But basically, Mel's dad emailed a pet company about Mel's cat, but from the perspective of the cat.
POV cat.
POV cat.
Being like, it's so fucked up. You sent me this kitty litter. It's wrong.
I've got a crazy question for you before we wrap up.
Go on.
Does your dad listen to Ratbag?
I think he's listened to like bits and pieces here and there, and sometimes if I tell him, I'll be like, I talked about you a lot today on the pod. He'll often like listen, and
I
he'll
love
be like,
this.
She's very chilly.
I love this. Well,
Yeah.
can't wait to get Sarge's opinion.
Can't wait to get Sarge's opinion. He'll be
Hey.
stoked here that he's featured in a crooning number.
Next time that you're a man and you're about to go down and ride a girl with a motorcycle, that wasn't a sentence.
Go
Good
down
on me.
and ride.
Good God, stop giving me a platform to talk. I'm becoming Joe Rogan just with cunty eyeliner. Jesus Christ. Next time you're about to ride,
Title alert: Joe Rogan with cunty eyeliner.
women shouldn't be on motorbike should be the episode title. Clickbait alert. Anyway,
Perfect.
anytime you're a man getting on a bike, just have a think about it. Do you need a backpack or do you not?
Stop sending feminism
Be a feminist this winter.
This winter.
We've been Mel and Sam, or High Pony Productions if we took a different door one day on the train.
Glitter tit, if you will, if we went through a different Monsters Inc. door.
Nina, sliding door alert. Hey, thanks for joining us. This set has great silly energy.
Great silly energy. Love it here on Mature Nickelodeon 101.
If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or wherever, comment bike emojis. I'm out of ideas. I've got to stop feeding. So I'm going to stop drip feeding the jiglets.
Comment whatever the fuck you want. Comment whether you think this motorbike thing has legs or if my dad's being outrageous. And I think I know the answer.
Hell yeah. We'll see you on Thursday for a Ratfood. But until then, we love your guts.
Ride well.
This is a Grouse House podcast.
Mel and Sam would like to acknowledge that this podcast was created and recorded on stolen land.
The original custodians of this land have had a rich history of storytelling for over 65,000 years, and we pay our respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, whose land we are making Ratbag on.
Treaties were never signed, sovereignty was never ceded,
always was and always will be Aboriginal land.